So today we're down in my extremely damp garage doing some preventative mods on the Tenere 700. I actually have to give a big thanks to one of you guys for pointing this out to me. I was not aware that other people were doing this. However, I had actually noticed that the fastener that I'm going to be replacing was sticking out a little bit farther than maybe comfortable. So when one of you mentioned this to me, it made a heck of a lot of sense, and I jumped on it about 2 weeks later and ordered these. But today we're getting them installed, and I'm going to show you exactly why that is and kind of go through why it might be a good idea for you to order a set of these and get them installed on your bike before you end up costing yourself a lot of money and a lot of heartache. So the fastener that I'm referring to is going to be this guy right here, and as you'll notice, this could get busted off pretty darn easily, even just sideswiping a rock when you're cruising down the trail in some ruts. This could definitely be something that would get taken off pretty easy. And because this is hardened metal, where this is just cast aluminum, you've got a fairly good chance that you might bust what this threads into right off of your fork tube. And not only is this not a cheap part, but right now, especially with everything that's going on in the world, it's probably not going to be shipped to your door in the next week. You might be off your bike for a long time. Along with that bolt, I think I'm actually going to replace this one here. It's a little bit more out of the way than that one is, but I think it sticks out just about as far, and since I ended up with a whole bunch of these anyways, I figure I might as well. Pretty darn self-explanatory. All you gotta do is remove this one. So basically just a black plastic fastener. This one's gonna be a Phillips head. You might be able to get one in a different type. What's really gonna be important though is that the thread and the length is going to be the same. Put a link and a description of this fastener down in the description so you can take a look at that. And the reason you want this fastener over this one is that if this does take a blow, the head's probably just going to snap off, and the worst thing you'll have to deal with is trying to use an easy out to get the shank of the bolt back out of your fork tube, where this one is probably not going to break and is probably going to take out the piece of the fork tube that it threads into. So I would rather have to dig out a little bit of plastic than blow apart part of my fork tube. So I'm not really sure how good of an idea this is. I would not recommend it without maybe doing a little bit of research. I'm just not all that worried about it. I think it'll be okay. I'm just gonna put just a dab of blue Loctite on here just to keep this from rattling out and to keep me from going crazy and wanting to over tighten it. And just drive it on in. Of course, you don't want to go too tight. We'll call that good. So we'll just do the same thing up top here. So then all I've got to do is the exact same thing on the other fork tube. I'm not going to bore you guys with that. If you want to see how this works out for me, then make sure you hit the subscribe button. I put a video out every weekend where I'm out in the beautiful Wisconsin woods cruising around on the Tenere 700. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you click that button, click the bell after you're subscribed so it lets you know anytime I put that video out. If you guys can get out and enjoy this beautiful world that we live in, make sure you do that today. However, if you can't, well then check out some of these videos here instead. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care, stay safe, and stay swanky.